What's up, guys? It's your boy the Iconic Knight, and we are back with another video. And this video is going to be about the 5 ways that you can improve your offense in Undisputed so you could become a force to be reckoned with. We're going to keep it nice, short, and sweet, but if you like the video, smash the like button, uppercut the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you know when I put out my next video. And let's just get into this. Number 1 is about being patient and picking your shots. Too many times I see people online try to go for the finish very early on, throwing haymakers, throwing a whole bunch of combinations that make no sense, and it just leads them to getting countered and whiffing consistently, which will drain their stamina over time a lot quicker and put them in a negative position in those later rounds. But in the second clip, you're going to see that as you take your time to pick your shots and strike while you're in range, you're going to miss less. You're going to be able to identify your opponent's tendencies, identify openings, identify counter opportunities. There's a lot of stuff that you can see when the fight is slowed down. If you're fighting too much at a fast pace and you're just throwing your shots out there with kind of no regard and no technical kind of IQ, then you're going to pay big for it in those later rounds. You're going to see here as Nigel Benn is fighting, he's kind of picking his opponent apart here, and just taking your time, flick out the jab, see what your opponent does, see what they react to, and then make sure that if you find that reaction, you're going to store that in the back of your mind, and you're going to eventually set them up for something. So if you're throwing a jab and let's say they're leaning back all the time, then you know that when you flick out that jab, they're going to be looking for a counter punch. So you can feint the jab. You could throw a jab to the body instead, switch it up and keep them guessing. And right here you see, as you're picking your shots accordingly, you're going to break down the block and you're going to leave your opponent defenseless for a beautiful KO. Number 2 is practice and drilling. This one is very important, and you could really only do this if you have a second controller, but if you have a second controller, make sure that you're utilizing this ability. You want to use your second controller and have basically a sparring partner or a punching bag, and you want to practice combos with your favorite fighters that you know you're going to use often. You want to utilize this mode or your second controller to practice these combos so you can get used to them. Not practicing while you're fighting. You want to practice this before you're getting into fights, because in the fight you want this stuff to be second nature. You want it to be instinctual. You don't want to be thinking about combination punches that you're trying to throw in the fight. You want to practice them beforehand, just like you would in real life. You don't practice fighting in fights. You practice fighting in the gym. You practice defense in the gym. You practice offense in the gym. Everything happens in the gym first. So when you're fighting, you're not out there thinking. You're not out there in your mind trying to piece together combinations. It's all reactionary. It's all second nature. As you saw in that first clip with Juan Marquez, I was practicing a specific combo that I wanted to utilize on the computer. Now, again, I'm not going to throw that combo every single time I engage with the computer. I'm trying to pick them off. I'm trying to pick my shots and make sure that I'm waiting for the right opportunity to hit that combo. But if you don't practice it enough, in the moment, you're not going to be able to nail this combo effectively. You're going to be thinking about it, and that's what you don't want to do. You'll see in this next clip that the combo that I was drilling is exactly what leads to the knockout sequence. So again, just remember, practice and drill these combos offline by yourself or with a friend so you can get fantastic results online and you can nail KOs just like this. Number 3 is slow down your movement. There's one thing that I see many times when I watch people play this game online. and it drives me fucking crazy. It's nauseating, actually. This 360 spinning screen that people love because they can't just slow the goddamn feet down. People run around in circles in this game like you're on a goddamn carousel. And what you really need to do is slow the fight down. Bring the pace to a snail's pace if you need to. All this movement is not going to give you time to identify openings, identify what kind of strikes are coming at you. Everything is moving too fast, and you're going to get sucked into a fast-paced fight even if you don't want to be. You're not going to be able to defend properly as well because your eyes are all over the place. You're not going to be able to see the strikes. You're not going to be able to see the amount of distance that you have to attack your enemy. If you slow the pace down, don't be scared to fight in the pocket. That's what you got defense for. That's what you have your hands for. Put your hands up, guard the body, guard your face, and get in the phone booth if you need to, or just stay slightly out of range. But the running in circles is not going to benefit you at all. It also makes for a very unenjoyable experience for the player. You're not going to be able to enjoy this game to its fullest potential. You need to slow down the fight and box clinically so you can get knockouts just like that. And like this one. Number 4 is identifying tendencies. So in this next clip, this is an online fight that I had using Rocky Marciano versus Alexander Usyk. And I noticed that every time I went for a level change, Usyk, his preferred line of defense was the lean back. And I noticed this very early on in round 1. So I made sure that when I hurt him, I would bait strikes up top for the lean and then strike to the body because he gave me that opening. We adapted so well to this lean back that we even baited him with a level change and went up top with excruciating power to get that nice stun and knockdown. Pop, pop. Notice here that for the final sequence of the fight, I bait him with multiple level changes right before the fight is over. Try to draw out that weave so I can attack the body with a vicious power shot. Woo! Body shot. Let's go. This got to be the end, bro. 8 of the 8th round, bro. This man cannot get up again. There's no fucking way he's going to get up again. There's no way. There's no way. He's got to be done. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Now, the last and final tip and most controversial is put your hands down. Now, this is probably a cardinal sin when it comes to boxing. The first thing they tell you when you box is keep your hands up at all times. This, unfortunately, in this game, does not really help you. I see a lot of people run around online matches like this, holding their right trigger. Even if they're 50,000 yards away, they're holding the right trigger, putting their hands up, thinking that, oh yeah, I'm protected, I'm safe from punches. But it actually does the complete opposite. So one, it leaves your body open for strikes. But 2, it makes you even more predictable when you want to throw strikes. Because the opponent now has a signal for when they need to attack you. Your hands are up while you're holding the right trigger. Once you let that trigger go and your hands fall, that leaves you open for strikes. But if your hands are already down, then you keep your opponent guessing. They have no clue when you're going to strike, whether you're going to defend, whether you're going to go high, low, backstep. But with that right trigger held at all times, all I have to do is time the second that you let go of that button, I just have to time a strike, and boom, I'm one step ahead of you. I've already hit you, and now it leaves me more opportunities for combinations, for counter shots. It really puts you in a lot of trouble when you're holding the right trigger. So I really want to emphasize that it is okay to fight with your hands down when you're slightly out of range. Not when you're in the pocket, you know what I mean? If you're a counter puncher, if you excel at counter punching, then hey, go right ahead if that's your jam. But when you're right outside of range, let those hands fall, and give your opponent the ability to mess up. Let them show you what they're going to do. If they're trying to strike, step back. You know, you want to use that time, that space, and those opportunities to set up combinations, to set up counter punches. If you know that they're going to throw it straight, then you're going to lean back and come back with a pull counter. Or you do nothing at all. Let them whiff. Let them waste their stamina. Hands down, baits attacks. It really draws in those attacks from your opponent because they think that they have the ability to hit you when they actually don't. So if you're good and focused on defense, you don't need to run around with the right trigger the whole time. As you see, when I fight, even in the pocket, sometimes I drop my hands because I don't see any strikes coming to me. I'm only going to put my hands up when I see strikes coming to me because for me, personally, that's a style that I like to implement. I like to put my defense up, catch, and shoot when I have the opportunity, or I'll bait attacks for counter opportunities as well. But this is a really crucial thing that I see a lot of people could do better with. And I think it's just mainly, it stems from fear of being hit, fear of being KO'd. They don't want to be touched. But at the end of the day, it's a boxing fight. You're going to get hit eventually. So might as well bait the opponent, bait those counters, see what your opponent's tendencies are, and put your hands down for a change. Now, I'm going to put a fight at the end of this video because that's pretty much all I wanted to touch on when it comes to keep your hands down. But I'm going to put a fight. I was Carl Froch fighting a Canelo, and I'm fighting with my hands down the whole time, and he absolutely got decimated. It was a boxing masterclass on how to fight with your hands down. So if you liked this comprehensive video, if you like these 5 tips, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button because there's more content on the way. Smash the notification bell so you know when I put that content out. And as always, man, I thank you for your viewage. I love every single one of you who support the channel. I love you. Jesus Christ loves you. Enjoy the rest of the video. Peace.